Let's talk. Let us talk. We got a lot of things to talk about. This is serious. This is serious. This is very serious. This is very serious. This is also very, very unacceptable by Manchester City. It's unacceptable. But when you really look at the big picture, I'm not happy. I'm not happy about the result, but I like the result. You know why I like the result? It makes things tighter. It makes things more interesting. And that is what we need. That is what the league needs. That is what the league is crying out for. Not for Manchester City to run away with the title by 15 points, by 19 points. You see what I'm saying? This is what we need. This is what we need as football fans. Seriously. I'm not pleased with the result at all. Not at all. Failing to beat Crystal Palace this season. Failing to beat Tottenham this season. Failing to beat Southampton this season could cost Manchester City the title. But you gotta love it. You gotta love it because it makes things more interesting. Guys, how are you? This is match week 29 of this season's English Premier League roundup with your boy Dominic Rich. We're going to have a fun one. We have 10 games to go through. We're going to talk those 10 matches, and we're going to have some fun. I might even go live tomorrow, too, to talk the midweek fixtures and to talk Champions League football. I got to actually get back being a bit more consistent, seeing that I'm actually wrapped up with doing whatever little project I was doing on my cars. Pretty much wrapped up. We have a lot to talk about. How are you guys doing, man? Big up to everybody in the house right now. Make sure you smash your thumbs up button. We got 38 people in here, guys. We only got 19 likes. Let's get the like count up to about 30 right away before we get into things. I was taking a nap. I had to take a nap. I was working on my car today too. I was actually doing my my sound system. I did it about 11 years ago. I didn't do it properly. But this time, I did it really good. I'm a more improved individual. You see what I'm saying? And just like 5 years ago when I started YouTube, I'm a much more improved individual right now. And just by the way I do things. Big up to Adam the Great, man. How are you doing, Adam? Adam says, City could still win the league if LFC failed to beat Arsenal and City. You got it right. But, you know what I mean? Liverpool are not showing signs of actually budging right now. Big up to Josh Byrne in the house. City better give Haaland whatever he wants. Haaland linked to City big time. Big up to Legon Sweet in the house who said, Dominic, did you watch City versus... Oh, come on, bro. What kind of question is that? Big up to the boy Obby in the house. Big up to Javay O'Hara. Summer at the Longhouse. Big up to Obby OKK. Big up to you, Obby, man, who says Liverpool fans will come out in their numbers to laugh at Dominic tonight. What a league. Yeah, man, what a league, bro. What a league. Even Norwich versus Brentford. What a game that was. You see what I'm saying? What a league. You have a league where Man United smashed Tottenham, right? Basically, Tottenham beat City. City beat United. You see what I'm saying? City can't beat Crystal Palace, but beat Chelsea twice, and Chelsea push aside Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? It's a very unpredictable league. Very, very unpredictable, and I love it, man. You go into no game, maybe the Norwich match, but you go into most games not really guaranteed a win. You're not guaranteed a win if you're a top team. So nice to see everybody in the house right about now. We're gonna get into things, man. You know what I mean? I don't plan to be here all night. I got work in the morning, and I want to go live tomorrow again. I just want to catch up and talk about these matches. You know what I'm saying? So big up to Legon Sweet who said, "Damn, if Bernardo Silva and Laporte scored, yeah, we had the chances. We had the chances. We're gonna get to this game. We're gonna get to this game." Let's take our time and go through each and every one of these results and talk about them briefly until we get to City, Palace, and Liverpool, Brighton, okay? So we're going to discuss these results. Let's start with the game between Brentford and, was it Brentford, Burnley? I said Brentford, Burnley. That's not the game I wanted to mention. I wanted to mention Leeds, Norwich. I don't know why I said Brentford, Norwich, but Leeds, Norwich. Even Brentford, Norwich. That was played, I think that was recently played too. I think that was a recent game. Yeah, right here. That was a good game as well. So I'm not wrong when I said Brentford, Norwich, but I actually meant the Leeds United versus Norwich City game. That was a hell of a game though. But let's start with this game. Brentford 2, Burnley 0. So in this game, Ivan Toney scored both goals. 85th minute, set up by Christian Eriksen with his left foot. Brilliant ball, man. Brilliant ball, brilliant header by Ivan Toney. And the penalty in the 94th minute. Nathan Collins getting sent off, and the youngster put in Burnley in a very, very difficult spot because Ben Mee is currently injured, and you have Nathan Collins injured now. You know, Burnley's defensive stock is not deep, so they're going to have a problem at center back there. Probably going to have to tweak things at the back, play somebody, you know, there who's not really accustomed to be playing at center back. I don't think they have any other, you know, first team center backs left in that squad, if you ask me. Take a look at this Burnley squad real quick. You got Tarkowski and Collins that's plays center back there. If you go into the substitutes, Lowton is a left back from what I could recall. Bobby Thomas, I don't know this guy. Kevin Long, one of these guys are going to have to fill in there. One of them is going to have to fill in there because Burnley, you know, they do not have the biggest squad. But I have to say they played well throughout the game. They didn't play badly at all. They really didn't. And you know, a little unlucky not to get anything from the game. They didn't play bad at all. I think Maxwell Cornet came close to scoring, and they held their own in the match. But it's just that magic, man. That magic, that Christian Eriksen magic. And the signing of Christian Eriksen could actually be the difference between Brentford staying up and Brentford going down, because he's been an influential figure so far during his time at Brentford. Short time. Just a couple weeks ago, he started featuring, and he's starting matches now, and he's been amazing, man. You know what I mean? We're seeing glimpses of that Tottenham Christian Eriksen in his prime, and he's a wiser player now, and he's casting a spell on these games, which is brilliant and very inspirational when you think about it. So you see possession there. Brentford dominated possession, and dominated the shots. 13, 4 on target. Burnley, 7 shots, 1 on target. So Brentford came out deserved winners at the end of the day, but this game was looking like it was going to end in a draw. But when you look at the big picture, this is a huge 3 points for Brentford, winning back-to-back games in the league as well, which has been a rarity this season for Brentford. And this win virtually put them into a spot where I think they're definitely going to survive now. 30 points, and that gives them an 8-point gap between them and the team in 18th, and that's Watford. We'll talk about Watford and Burnley and Norwich some more as we go along. And for Burnley, this was an opportunity for them to actually get out the relegation zone with a win, but they have now lost 3 on the bounce after going through a really, really nice period where they were winning a couple games, picking up some important draws, but they have gone back into a slump right now, and it's not looking good for the Clarets at all, who recently got a big investor in the club, and they've been spending money. They've been looking more ambitious, but they might have to fulfill that ambition from the championship, it seems, because it ain't looking good at all. They have a few games in hand, but it is not looking good for Sean Dyche and his boys at all. So, mammoth win, man. Look, you got to give it to Ivan Toney. He has been in tremendous form. He has scored, 5 goals in his last 2 games, scoring a hat-trick against Norwich and scoring a brace against Burnley. And when you really look at what Brentford have done here, is that they have won games against the teams that's around them, which means that they're taking advantage of the situation. They do have Leicester. Leicester's a vulnerable team. They do have Chelsea, a team they most likely won't beat. West Ham. They have some rough games coming up. But the game against Watford is a big one. They got to win. They have a team like Southampton, who, could be so-so on the day. They got the struggling Everton and Leeds United. So that's about 4 games. That's 12 available points for Brentford that they feel they could take. They'll survive. This could be a season where 35 points might be enough to stay up, seeing how close things are down towards the bottom of the table. But look, I think Mbuemo had a good game. David Raya, since he's came back, he's looked good. You got to give a shout out to Ethan Pinnock, though. He's been, around the team all season. So big up to Ethan Pinnock, Pontus Janssen. These guys deserve a shout. But the man of the hour is definitely Christian Eriksen. I know Ivan Toney scoring the goals, but it's Christian Eriksen, I think, that's added that well-needed spark to Thomas Frank's team. Look, Burnley, you're going to need to draw some type of inspiration and from deep down within if you are to stay up, man, because it ain't looking good at all. It ain't looking good. So, look, we're definitely going to keep it moving. We don't want to stray and linger too much on each fixture. So, for Burnley, their upcoming game, they're 19th right now in the league, guys. They're 19th right now. And their upcoming game is against Manchester City on April 2nd. The game against Southampton has been postponed, but they do have City coming up, and they won't win that game. Most likely won't, right? But you never know. You never know with Manchester City these days. But there's some huge games coming up against Norwich, West Ham, and Wolves. Burnley could beat anybody on their day. So they're not doomed yet. They have to keep their head up, and they have to keep plugging away. You have to keep trying. So that's what the fixture looks like for Burnley. I think I did mention the fixture for Brentford. That's coming up pretty soon. And for them, they have Leicester, Chelsea, and West Ham. Some tough fixtures. They should look to actually pick up. If they get 2 points from these games, that's big. That is huge. So, big up to each and everybody in the house right about now, man. These are my thoughts on that game. We're going to keep it moving for sure. Brentford a 15th on 30 points. Burnley a 19th, struggling with 21 points. So, we did get a super chat that come in. So, let me just address that right now. Big up to Obby, dropping a $5 super chat, who says, what City did this season is another name for Gerrard's slip. From 14-point gap to 4 points is a big shame. Luck seems to be with Liverpool FC. You're right. I think we actually dropped the ball with the point gap for real, because remember one time I was like, the league is done. I was saying the league is over, man. The league is pretty much wrapped up, because the point gap that City had over Chelsea and Liverpool, it was pretty ridiculous. And to drop the points against Southampton and then against Tottenham, we dropped 5 points there. That's big. That is big because you drop 5 points. The gap go from 11 to 6. And then you drop the points, the 2 points you drop against Crystal Palace. The gap is now 4. And Liverpool do have a game in hand, right? Liverpool do have a game in hand. So we are virtually 1 point ahead of Liverpool, which when you think about it, guys, I know it's only a point, but that's a huge point. That is a huge point. We won the league a few seasons ago by 1 point. 1 point is big because let's say City play Liverpool. Let's say City and Liverpool continue winning all their games this season, right? And the game, Liverpool versus City, ends in a draw. Man City got the lead still. So when you really look at it, the league is basically in Liverpool's favor right now. It's Liverpool's league to lose right now. The pressure is on Manchester City. There was no pressure on Crystal Palace today. None. There was absolutely no pressure. They will survive. They won't get relegated. They basically had nothing to play for but to go out there and try to disrupt Manchester City. And that's why they ended up doing what they do, and they played freely. They played without pressure, while City did. But just to touch on what Obby is saying before I move on, a point is important still. Because Palace were trying to win that game. So thanks again there, Obby. Appreciate it. Big up to the boy Adam, who's saying Eriksen going to win Player of the Year. I don't think so, but maybe just for sentimental reasons. Big up to JLFC Imperial. Big up to Abel in the house. How you doing? Online school, my memories, Palomo, Ashish, Phil Jones, everybody, Damian hustling, man. The title chase is definitely on. Big up to Flynn in the house, who does drop the super chat as well. Thank you very much, Flynn. Big up to Dr. Bell. It could be the first EPL in a recent memory to not win by the leader at Chris. Yeah, but guys, don't get too carried away. Big up to Flynn. $7.99 Australian dollars says it was better to get 1 point instead of getting nothing. Any points cause it could have ended up in goal difference. You are right. That's a big point you're making there as well, Flynn, because Liverpool right now, in terms of goal difference, I'm pretty sure are ahead by 3. 53 goal difference. City got a 50, but City got 70 points with 9 matches left to go. That's what, 27 more points. 27 more points available. And we know Manchester City could go on mad runs and win every single remaining game. So, a point is a good result still in the grand scheme of things. It's better than none, I gotta say. But look, big up to everybody in here, man. The obvious girl, Emmanuel, Opoku in the house. You see this? You see this energy right here, the sarcasm? Yeah, Emmanuel. That's what City does, give these Liverpool fans a lot of strength. You see what I'm saying? All right, I am so disappointed in some Liverpool supporters for thinking the league was done in January. We are Liverpool and we never walk alone. Dom, what is your favorite basketball team? Do you watch ball? I don't watch basketball. Big up to Botak Ching in the house, coming out of Singapore, man. How are you doing? Judgment, they will be April 10th, Manchester City versus Liverpool. Let's go. Let's bring in the table down. Yep. It's gonna be a good match. I'm loving it. So we're gonna keep it moving, guys. Let's talk Leeds United versus Norwich. So I did predict Leeds United to win the game against Norwich City. And this was one of the most exciting games of the weekend, I gotta say, man. Bottom of the table clash, 6-pointer. And Leeds picked up their first win on the Jesse Marsh, and it was indeed well deserved. But Norwich could have at least get a point. I think Norwich played well enough to deserve a point, and they did create chances all the way down to the last stages of the game. But Leeds just had a lot going for them on the day. But the amount of time Leeds hit the post, man, Rafinha hit the crossbar, the woodwork a couple times. they really deserve the 3 points. They fought hard and they got what they were looking for. They needed this. Under the new manager, even the run from when Bielsa was in charge, it was not a good run at all. It was absolutely horrible. So what did I predict for this game? Let me just find my prediction for this one. Leeds versus Norwich. I actually let me see. I got a few right this weekend in terms of my prediction, but I got a lot of them wrong as well. So it's all good. So Leeds versus Norwich. I predicted a 2-1 win for Leeds. So I got this one dead right. Dead right. So in this game, Rodrigo in the 14th minute, fortuitous goal, deflection, but he took the chance and he got rewarded. We had Kenny McLean equalizing in the 91st minute, set up by Timo Pukki, a square. McLean got to the ball first, poor defending by Leeds United. And they would have been disappointed in the fact that they let in this goal because they were leading for so long and they were just about to give up the points, the 3 points, after playing, so well throughout the match. So that would have been heart-wrenching. But Joe Gelhardt, who came off the bench, brilliantly set up by Rafinha, who is indeed the man of the match. It was given to Rodrigo, but it had to be Rafinha, man. You see, talismanic player, Jesse March, happy with, his Brazilian. And for Leeds United, you got Rodrigo, who is a Brazilian-born Spanish international, and you got Rafinha in your team. You shouldn't be going down. You know what I mean? These are talented players. They got some quality in their team. They shouldn't be in this position. And this is a huge, huge, huge win. That goal was a good goal. Poor defending by Norwich. And they just couldn't, get that ball at the end. And Rafinha, with the presence of mind to set up Gelhardt for the tap-in. And the young man who definitely looks like he has a bright future, scored, symbolic goal there for Leeds United. 2-1. Norwich, they're going down, man. When you see Watford picking up a win this week, you know what I mean? Leeds picked up a win. But Norwich, they're stuck on 17 points. They've lost the last maybe 6-7 games on the bounce, which is very, very poor, man. Very, very poor. So, including the FA Cup clash, Norwich have actually lost their last 7 games on the bounce. 7, which is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So, this is indeed relegation stuff, and no team has actually survived with the performance of Norwich at this point of the league. So, seems as if they're going down, man. I don't think they spent well enough. Actually, they spent money, but they didn't buy the right players, in my opinion. And I think that would be one of the reasons why they're going back to the championship. They have to learn from their previous mistakes when they get promoted, because they seem to be a great team in the championship, but at Premier League level, they just do not have the quality in the team. As for Leeds United, they got promoted for the first time in about, 16 years last season. And they had to do something really difficult, and that is sacking the manager that brought them back to prominence. Sometimes it just shows you got to get rid of what made you successful in order to stay successful. And bringing in the American Jesse March, who does have a plan B, it seems, where Bielsa didn't. It could be the reason why they stay up or they go down. So, look, bright match. Very, very, very exciting stuff. End-to-end stuff between these two teams. And Leeds United coming out on top. And I think deservedly. So, in this game, right, we had, in terms of stats, we had 13 shots for Leeds, 7 on target. 12 shots for Norwich, 4 on target. The possession was close, 53-47. And it was end-to-end stuff. And I think Dean Smith and his boys were a little unlucky not to get something from the match. But I think they could have got a point. They did not deserve 3 points. But big win for Leeds. They're 16th right now with 26 points. They're not in the clear. But they do have a little wiggle room of 4 points above Watford and Everton. So it is still tends towards the bottom of the table. As for Norwich, they're 20th, dead last in the league with 17 points. So they do have a whole lot of work to do. For them, their next game will be against a struggling Brighton. Then they have Burnley. So they have a couple games where they could get results. And it's not all over for them as yet, because with 9 games left, 27 points available, they could still survive. Excuse me. They could still survive, but they would need to win every single remaining game, or at least win let's say, 7 out of, 7 out of 9. Or let's say they need to win at least, they need to win a lot of games. And I just don't see them winning a lot of games, though. So I think it's over for Norwich pretty much. As for Leeds United and their upcoming matches, they do have Wolves coming this Friday, Southampton, Watford. So, Chelsea and Crystal Palace. So the next 5 games, 4 of those matches are winnable. I don't think they'll win the game against Chelsea, but 4 of those matches are winnable. And they need to get something in those matches, because their remaining opponents are Manchester City after that, Arsenal. They do have Brighton and Brentford. So I think this schedule definitely suits Leeds. It definitely suits Leeds. I'm not going to say they're going to stay up yet, but it is looking a little brighter than, a lot of the other teams below them. So that's my thoughts on that one, guys. Big up to everybody in the house, man. Make sure you guys like up the video. Let's get it up to 100 likes if we can, man. We got over 100 people in the house. I know you guys came out right now to talk about Manchester City and Liverpool, but we also got to talk about all these other teams in the league, and we got to talk about all these other matches. So just to hit the comment section really quick, big up to Lawrence, who says, Dom, I care not what anybody say. Liverpool got it this time. I don't see City making it to that finish line. Well, it's on, man. It is on. Big up to Mr. A in the house. Kevin McPherson, who says, I'm still saying the league will be defined between Liverpool and City in April. Yeah, that's going to be a big game, man. BX Gunner, do you rate Pookie? Can he be effective in a better side? Effective in the championship? You know what I mean? I don't know about any other side right now, but championship. And as Online School is saying, relegation battle is very interesting this season. Race to 100 likes. Big up to Shane Mousse in the house as well. Big up to everybody, man. Big up to Adam, who says, 3 things are definitive: taxes, death, and Norwich getting relegated. I love it, bro. I love it. I love it. Big Chelsea fan, Adam. Let me see what else. Alan Martin. Oh, man, don't get me started with that one, man. Do you think Pep should have put on the subs? How are you going to play a game where you cannot break down a team and you don't try something different? I'm going to get to that. But you absolutely had to throw 3 new players into the mix to throw off Crystal Palace. Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, all of these guys on the bench. You see what I'm saying? Throw them in the game. Gundogan, throw these guys in the game. Give Crystal Palace something different to look at. But nah, you kept persisting. Come on, man. And that's the frustrating part. That is the frustrating part, is that Pep sometimes could be a bit hard-headed. But credit goes out to Palace, though. Credit goes out to Palace big time. So, look, big up to Ivan LFC, who says, big up, Dom. It's gonna go down to the wire. Both squads look solid right now. Harley Free Riders, who says, hey, Dom, how's it going, bro? LFC are coming for you, buddy. Yeah, I'm not scared, man. I am not scared. Guys, let's get the stream up to 100 thumbs up, though. We'll definitely appreciate that. Let's talk. Let's keep it moving, man. Everton 0. Wolves 1. I think Everton played a lot better than Wolves did on the day, and they deserved something. but it was just that moment of quality from Connor Cody and Ruben Neves with that recycled ball, and Neves just pushing up to the byline and crossing it in, and Cody with the header. And Connor Cody, being a former Liverpool man and a Scouser himself, I think he's a Scouser, would have loved this moment of actually defeating Everton and putting them further into the abyss of relegation. It ain't looking good for Everton and Frank Lampard, man. I'm looking there at Frank Lampard, and the man is aging by the second. Listen, I don't know why he took that job. That job should have been given to Sam Allardyce, because I don't know if Frank Lampard could save Everton right now, man. It ain't looking good for the Toffees at all. But one thing they do have working for them is that they have some quality players in their team, and around them, they still have a little wiggle room. Seeing that they're not in the relegation zone yet, but they soon to be in the relegation zone. And you got teams like Watford, Burnley, and Norwich struggling below you. So that might actually be the only saving grace for Everton. But 4 losses on the trot ain't looking good. Lampard he gotta pull something out, some kind of trick out his sleeve, man, because it ain't looking good at all. It is not looking good for Everton whatsoever, I gotta say. It ain't looking good. Look, Richarlison, he had a couple opportunities in this match, but just couldn't find the back of the net. No Dominic Calvert-Lewin from the start. Injuries have not helped Everton whatsoever. Their defense is in tatters right now, and then John Joe Kenny got a red card from a second yellow dumb tackle in the second half there. He's sent off, so more problems for Everton. So you look at the 11 here, right? You had Holgate, Godfrey coming back from injury, and John Joe Kenny. I heard someone said that this Everton team looks like a championship side, and it's absolutely correct. This team does not put fear in anybody's hearts. I know Anthony Gordon is having a good season, but look, Gordon, Gray, Richarlison. Didn't Richarlison get relegated with Watford one time, or almost did? I can't even remember, but Van de Beek, Coleman, Vitaly Mikolenko, Doucouré, who got relegated with Watford, Godfrey relegated with Norwich, Holgate, John Joe Kenny, Pickford, he's not looked good this season. This team is not strong, and that's the problem. That is the problem. I don't know, for the life of me, I don't know why Frank Lampard put out a team like this. When you have Allen on the bench, Townsend, Andre Gomez, why the hell you bring Anwar El Ghazi to the club if you're not going to use him? Dele Alli and Iwobi and all these guys who were playing some good football earlier in the season under Rafa Benitez. I don't know what type of team Lampard put out there for real. You got to put out your best 11. Play Dele Alli. You brought him to the club. You have Andre Gomez. You got Allen. You got Townsend. Play these guys. You see what I mean? Do what you got to do. Do something different. If Everton continue down this road, they're going to get relegated. It's going to be sad for the league, but it's just not it, man. Look, Wolves, you know how gritty they are. It's nice to see Johnny back in the team. But they were, resilient. I know Everton came at them, but they kept them out. Jose Sa, you got to give him a lot of credit. And this team has looked good all season. All season, Bruno Lage and his boys have looked large and in charge. And yet another 3 points. I'm not saying they deserve the 3 points, but look, sometimes the wins are going to come very ugly. And this was a scrappy win for Wolves. And that's another big 3 points in the bag. For Everton, they're in a lot of trouble, man. They're in a lot of trouble. Lampard, he needs to really get his thinking cap on and do something, because it's going to be tough. They're 17th, 22 points, and their upcoming matches are against a Newcastle team who, even though they lost to Chelsea, we're going to get to that pretty soon, they're looking really good. West Ham, Man United, they have a game against Watford. So they have a 6-pointer against Watford. They got to play a team like Crystal Palace. They got Brentford. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good at all. For Everton, they got to play Arsenal, Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, West Ham United. That's 6 games that you might not win with 22 points. You see what I'm saying? So they got to beat Newcastle. They got to beat Watford. They got to beat Crystal Palace. They got to beat Brentford. That's 12 points. Could they get up to 34 and maybe squeeze a draw? Maybe out of Liverpool, you know what I mean? Pick up a win against Leicester. They have to win one of these games that they're looking like they won't win. A game against Man United, get a draw. Against West Ham, maybe. So there's still room for them to actually pick up points and survive. But it's looking quite bleak. It's looking bleak, I gotta say. It is looking bleak. So they're right outside the relegation zone is 17th. But one thing they do have in their favor, guys, they have 3 games in hand. These games in hand are mammoth when it comes to Everton's survival. And I'm going to leave it right there. So for Wolverhampton Wanderers, guys, they are 7th. 7th of the 29 games, man. 7th with 46 points, winning their last 2 games after losing their previous 3 on the trot. So, look, you go through periods where you're going to lose a couple games on the bounce, right? If you're a team mid-table-ish, bottom of the table-ish, right? But what Wolves are doing right now, it's very good, man. 46 points, that's only 2 points behind West Ham, 4 points behind United, and Arsenal got some room ahead of, between them and Wolves. But Wolves still got those Europa League spots in their eyesight. And they have done well this season. They have survived. Bruno Lage could work on start working on some ideas for next season. And he's having a great time. A great debut season in the Premier League. Their next game will be against Leeds United. Then they do have Aston Villa, Newcastle, before they play Manchester City on April 16th. So they got some nice fixtures coming up. I think they're going to have a nice time for the rest of the season. You got Burnley, Brighton, Norwich, Liverpool and Chelsea to play. I think it's going to be, I think this is going to be one of the best seasons for Wolverhampton Wanderers since they got promoted under Nuno Espirito Santo. We're going to leave that one right there. Quality performance at the end of the day, even though it wasn't the prettiest. So, guys, talk to me, man. Talk to me. Big up to everybody, man. We got to talk Liverpool, Brighton. We do have to talk Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. Give my thoughts on those. Tottenham, United. We got to talk Arsenal, Leicester as well. We're running through these fixtures, of course. Big up to each and everybody in the house right now, man. You guys are the real deal. Let's get the stream up to 100 likes. We need 27 more, and I'm pretty sure there's 27 people in here who are yet to like the video. So shout outs to you guys. I'm not going to run through the list. Big up to everybody who have dropped super chats already. Big up to all the members in the house, all the Liverpool fans, the City fans, the Chelsea fans, the United fans, Aston Villa fans. Do we have 80 Booth in the house? Of course we do. You know what I'm saying? Big up to each and every one of y'all, man. It's nice to be back on a Monday night talking Premier League football. And I want to go live tomorrow, even if it's for an hour, to talk the midweek matches. We got Arsenal, Liverpool coming up as well. Champions League tomorrow. Big up to the boy Ryan LFC. I saw you in here as well, screaming out Liverpool are the champions of England and all that kind of nonsense. But it's all good. Nice to see you around these parts as well. So we're going to keep it moving, guys. Definitely going to keep it moving. And let's talk Southampton 1, Watford 2. We're going to spend about 5 minutes on this game. Not going to, stay too long. We know Southampton They went through a really good period, but now they have gone through somewhat of a slump. And I don't think Hassan Huta will be worrying too much about this, but on 35 points in 10th, they have lost their last 3 matches in a row. It's not a cause for worry, in my opinion, but they have lost to Watford, Newcastle, and Aston Villa. They do have a FA Cup match coming up against Manchester City this Sunday before they play Leeds, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Brighton. So they do have 9 games left this season. They have pretty much survived. They need 5 more points to ensure safety with the 40-point mark. They'll get there. And I think it's about just reaching, certain goals in terms of numbers this season. And, for Hassan Huta to just continue getting more and more players, assured in this team and just keep working out his best 11 when next season comes around, because they're a more ambitious club. They got a new billionaire owner as well, and they will look to improve the squad more and more going forward. So look, big up to Chuko Hernandez, who was definitely switched on, and the Colombian who in the last game scored an own goal, from what I could recall, bagged a winning brace to give Watford a massive 3 points. So the goal that was scored in the 14th minute was a result of Southampton's, own doing. Very horrible back passing. The goalkeeper passing the ball. Then Salisu undercooking the ball. But you got to give it to Chuko Hernandez for staying switched on, stealing that ball, and scoring from a tight angle. And the ball in the 34th minute by Kushka to pick him out, the volley into the back of the net. Brilliant. Look, Colombia, I don't know if they put out their squad yet for the upcoming matches. They got to call him up because they're not scoring goals, and Chuko Hernandez, have his shooting boots on in the last couple of games. So look, Mohamed Elianusi did pull one back from a free kick situation there. A flick on by Che Adams in the 45th minute. Southampton did have their chances. During these losses, at least 2 of them, they haven't looked too bad. The game against Aston Villa, they got blown away, but the losses against Newcastle and against Watford were by 1 goal, and it was very close. Southampton could have easily get a point from this game, or even get 3 points, but it's just, one of those games where luck just doesn't go your way, and the other team, just have the luck going their way, and, you drop 3 points. But it's a massive 3 points for Watford. The way Southampton were playing, I don't think they would have fancied their chances of getting all 3 from this game, but it's the Premier League, guys, you know what I'm saying? And you could see Ben Foster, not Fraser Foster, but both Ben Foster and Fraser Foster play this game, by the way. But this is Ben Foster, and he's happy about the win there, man. So, look, Watford, could they survive, guys? Mathematically, yes, they can, because with that 3 points right there, they are level on points with Everton, but Everton do have 3 games in hand. But they're putting pressure on the likes of Leeds and Brentford with that win. Watford just have to keep winning games. They're missing Ismail Assar and maybe 1 or 2 other players through injury, but the players that's available for Roy Hodgson, they have to go out there and play their football, and I think that's what they did on the day, and they picked up the win. For them, their upcoming match, they do have Liverpool next in the league. April 2nd, potential 6-pointer against Leeds United. They do have Brentford. So in the next 4 games, they have Liverpool, Man City, Leeds, and Brentford. They got to win the games against. As a matter of fact, they got it in them to actually, they did beat Liverpool the last time they were in the league. I would love if they get something from Liverpool. They could beat Leeds, and they have the capabilities of beating Brentford. So They got also a game against Burnley. They got Crystal Palace, Leicester coming up. They have to beat those teams. I don't think they're going to beat Chelsea, City, and Liverpool, but those other teams, and they do have to play Everton as well. Watford could still survive. If Everton goes down, Watford could be the team to pull them down. You see what I'm saying? To not actually pull them down, but to stomp them down into the championship. So keep an eye on Watford, guys. Roy Hodgson, I know he's lost a couple games in the league, but they've picked up some positive results under Roy Hodgson. So keep an eye on Watford, guys. Keep one eye on the Hornets. As for Southampton, another setback for them, but, they've looked bright this season, and they did have their moments in the match. Kyle Walker-Peters continued to impress. Amanda Brozier, Romain Perrault, Livramento, these guys, but I think Salisu had a poor game. The defense need to take a look at themselves for the last couple games, but, they shouldn't really beat themselves up too much because, come on, man, you're mid-table right now. You're going to go through periods like this where you lose a couple on the bounce and, you just got to, keep plugging away at it. So for Southampton, they got City in the FA Cup quarterfinal. Then they do have Leeds United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Brighton in that South Coast derby coming up. And also they do have Crystal Palace, Brentford. They got some nice fixtures coming up for the remainder of the season. They'll be all right. Nothing to be alarmed about in terms of Hasenhüttl and Southampton, in my opinion. So, big up to each and everybody in the house right about now. DJ S is saying Watford are banging trouble. Yeah, I know that, but they could definitely get out of that situation if they keep winning. Big up to the boy Zachary Leahy in the house. How you doing, Zachary? King Huddle, Palomo in here, BX Gunner 81, 80 Booth. Who else we got? 80 Booth say when I'm done with Grealish, send him back. Aaron Guy, how are you doing, Aaron Guy? Nice to see you come through. Who else we got, man? Mr. A. Who else? Let's just give some shout outs to everybody before we keep it moving, because we're going to keep it moving. Guys, we need 8 more likes to get to 100. God damn, we get into 100 likes pretty fast. But we're going to keep this thing going. Let's talk West Ham United 2, Aston Villa 0. I did predict a win for Aston Villa because they were in great form. 3 wins on the trot. West Ham, so-so, not playing too well, but they grind out another result. 0-0 up to 70 minutes, and then Andrei Yarmolenko came off the bench, inspirational stuff to score, set up by Said Benrahma, who wasn't playing that well throughout the game and ended up with 2 assists. Pablo Fornals, great breakaway. Big up to Declan Rice, what a player he is. He was involved in the build-up. Fornals, who did get a chance earlier in the game as well, put away that goal in the 82nd minute. Aston Villa, very frustrating there, the office for them. But what a goal by Jacob Ramsey. Oh my God. 80 Booth, bro. This player, I want him at Manchester City, man. A supplemental type signing. You know what I mean? Pick up Haaland in the summer and Jacob Ramsey as well. Jacob Ramsey and Erling Haaland. That'll be 2 nice signings in the summer. Maybe a left back. You see what I'm saying? That'll be a nice summer for Man City. Haaland, Ramsey, and a left back. God damn. But keep an eye on that guy, Jacob Ramsey, though. His brother as well, I think his name is Aaron, is not that bad. So we're going to take Jacob Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey would replace him in the team. He'll develop, and then in the future, we'll take Aaron Ramsey as well. So 80 Booth is saying $100 million, bro. Nah, not at all. Not at all. We're going to take him because he's quality, though. He is quality indeed. He is a quality youngster, man. I saw Leon Bailey came off the bench in this game as well, and, he didn't look too bad. He didn't look too bad at all. Aston Villa could have easily picked up a point in this match. West Ham scrapped to this win. Big saves in this game from the goalkeepers as well. I got to give shout-outs to Emi Martinez and Lucas Fabianski because they, pulled off some massive saves in this game, man. So, Ramsey, back to Ramsey. He got 6 goals this season. That's amazing for a youngster, man. 6 freaking goals. How old is he? He's 20 years old. 20 years old. 6 goals this season. This is indeed his breakout season, and we got to keep an eye on this youngster, man. For him and his contract situation, it runs until 2025, so he's currently his market value is 15 million euros. So, look, they'll want a lot for him. They will want a lot for him, though. They will want a lot. Maybe about 40 to 50 million pounds, I think he'll cost any team going in for him, especially if it's a Premier League team. So, look, Said Benrahma listed as man of the match. You see my boy right here? That's my boy right there, man. That's my boy, Jacob Ramsey. What a strike. But for some reason, man, Thomas Soucek always got his head banged up and tied up, man. I don't know what's going on with Soucek, but the man is war ready. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Andrei Yarmolenko as well. Devout substitute, came off the bench and he put one in the back of the net. Very brilliant goal as well. Good first touch and good presence of mind. Quick finish. And bam. West Ham with the win. West Ham with the win on the day. I did predict Aston Villa to win this game. But look, these are teams who, have ambitions of maybe getting to the Europa League, Champions League in the near future. And this game would just be this loss, not a big, worry for Aston Villa. They won their last, 3 out of 4. For West Ham, this would just be progress in terms of putting pressure on the teams in the top 4 or the teams just above them. But I don't think West Ham are going to get Premier League, Champions League football. I think West Ham will be in the Europa League again, unless they go on to win the Europa League where they're trailing in that tie against Sevilla. So, not a great performance, but they did pick up the 3 points at the end of the day. So, congratulations to West Ham United. Hard luck to Aston Villa. Very, very quality team. Star-studded lineups here. I like these teams, man. These teams are very ambitious. If you look at the lineups, you have Cash, who scored in the last game. Tyrone Mings, he's been about. He came up with them from the championship. Callum Chambers, new man. Luca Dean, new man. So Cash signed from the championship. And these are the players, so you could see the ambition of Aston Villa. Douglas Luiz brought from City. McGinn. I think McGinn came up from the championship as well. Philippe Coutinho wasn't able to cast a spell over this game. Jacob Ramsey, homegrown. Ollie Watkins bought from Brentford. Danny Ings bought from Southampton. So you could see the quality in the team there. Ashley Young, who did come on early. Luca Dean picked up an injury there, so that's not a good thing at all. Buendia, I think Buendia needs to offer more. And Leon Bailey, of course, what he got to offer. Chuck Womaker is another bright talent. Sanson, not involved too much under, Steven Gerrard. Who knows? His future looks bleak at Aston Villa. So, look, that's my thoughts on this game in terms of the next matches for West Ham, who are 6th right now in the league. Their next game will be against Sevilla in the Europa League. Round the 16th leg, they trail 1-0. And then they do have a London derby against Tottenham before they face the struggling Everton. Another London derby against Brentford. And they do play Burnley and Chelsea coming up. So for Aston Villa, who are 9th, when Gerrard was hired, they were 15th and now they are 9th. So you've seen the improvement. They have 36 points. They're close to safety. They're not doing too bad. You see what I'm saying? They're not doing too badly at all. Their next game is against Arsenal this Saturday. That's a tough one, but they'll be up for it. They do have Wolves, Tottenham, Liverpool, and Leicester coming up. And they do have a easier run of fixtures at the back end where they play Norwich, Burnley, Crystal Palace, and Manchester City, which could be a title decider for the last match day. Yeah, not a team you want to really play. But at the end of the day, Aston Villa do play a very open style, attractive style football. So they might get sliced up and diced up. You see what I'm saying? It's the teams that set up in the low block and play very defensive that's very difficult to beat. So big up to everybody in the house again, man. Shout outs to you guys once again, in between the matches. I gave you guys a nice shout out. Big up to Hot Chili in the house. Big up to May. Big up to Robert Robinson in the house, man. Lengan Sweet said Jack Grealish awful. Sell back to Aston Villa. Come on, guys. It's just the first season. Chill out. Chill out. First season, let the man settle. Jacques Cancelo wasn't great his first season. You know what I mean? And look at what he's turned into. Let's be patient, man. Let's be patient. You see what I'm saying? Let's be patient, guys. Okay, so we're going to keep it moving. We're going to get through these fixtures and we're going to get to the big ones very, very soon. Let's talk Arsenal 2, Leicester City 0. Look, I didn't expect any other result. I don't plan to spend forever talking about this match, but I did not expect any other result than this. I predicted Arsenal to win the game. It was an easy prediction for me to make. 2-1 to Arsenal was my prediction. They did better and won the game 2-0. Big up to Aaron Ramsdale. He made a couple big saves in this one. Very impressive one from Harvey Barnes. A header. Al Brighton with the ball in. Header by Harvey Barnes. Super save by Aaron Ramsdale, who might just be England's #1 goalkeeper going forward. So Thomas Partey, 11th minute goal here. Corner taken by Gabriel Martinelli, and Leicester City have conceded the most goals from corner in the league. And I think it's probably they have a bad record when it comes to conceding from a set piece. It's crazy that Leicester City, I heard a stat, right? Leicester City, they concede a lot of corners. But Manchester United, just to touch on United briefly, we're going to talk about them soon. They have scored once from 150 plus corners taken this season, which is very poor. It's very, very poor when you think about it. You know what I mean? So, just since we're in the corner conversation, we're going to touch on that United corner conversation as well. So, Partey in the 11th minute. Partey did hit the crossbar as well. And then Lacazette with the penalty in the 59th minute. So, that was a handball and VAR review given. And Alexander Lacazette stepped up. Kasper Schmeichel protested the penalty, saying he stuttered for too long. But I think it was a clean run through by Alexander Lacazette, who scored his 4th goal this season. Not a great return, but he's been very inspirational for Arsenal this season, seeing that he is the captain now. He comes deep. He provides, quite a bit of assists, and his hold-up play is very, very good. Nicola Pepe off the bench. Saka, injury. Hopefully he's good. Emil Smith-Rowe and Eddie Nketiah, who might not sign a new contract. I was actually surprised to see Nampalys Mendy out there for Leicester, along with Kelechi Iheanacho up top. Daka came off the bench, Ndidi and James Justin, who's fit again. This team needs a bit of refreshing. Team didn't look good on the day. It did not look good. When you have a midfield of Dewsbury Hall and Mendy, you know what I'm saying? It ain't looking good. Amate Soyuncu at the back. Thomas and Pereira. These guys are either coming back from injury, or they're playing out of possession, or they're out of form. That's what's been going on. I think the most informed player on the field for Leicester is Harvey Barnes. When you see Yuri Telemans on the bench, you know the situation ain't that good. It might just be a little rotation, seeing that Leicester are saying to themselves, like, look, we're at a point in the league where we're not going to get European football this season. We play 26, 25 games. We got 33 points. We are going to be safe. There ain't really much to play for this season. So just rotate, give players opportunities, and just see what you could do in terms of, achieving small milestones. Because Brendan Rodgers, I think he's already resigned to the fact that it's been a poor season and there's not much to play for. Or they could have that Europa Conference League in mind for them to get their foot into the Europa League next season by winning the Conference League. That's also another thing that they have to that you have to factor in when it comes to Leicester City. But forget about Leicester. Let's talk about Arsenal. Oh my God. Arsenal have been on absolute fire. Fuego. They have been so hot lately. They're in the top 4. Arsenal could be playing Champions League football again. The last Champions League match they actually played, I think it's that destruction, that that demolition act by Bayern Munich. Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, where how many did Bayern Munich score in that tie? About 10. Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Arsenal I think that was 10-2. 10-2. 10 freaking 2, man. That was a hell of a game. You see what I'm saying? That was the last time they played Champions League football. That was under Arsene Wenger in the 16-17 season. That was actually the same season I started my YouTube channel. It's the same season I started the channel, but this happened I think this was the same round. I think it got to be the same round. I think I probably covered this game on my channel somewhere in the earlier stages. But this Arsenal team, only one player survived, and that's Granit Xhaka. One single player. One. There's not even anyone from the bench. Petr Cech was on the bench them days. There's no one from the bench that survived that game against Bayern Munich. No one except Granit Xhaka, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. Wow. Memory lane, right? Those days you had Ribery, Robin, Lewandowski, Xabi Alonso, Thiago Alcantara. Oh my God. Bayern Munich, man. I'm telling you. Nightmares. But look, Arsenal could be facing Bayern Munich next season. It'll be crazy. It will be absolutely crazy if you have Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Maybe in the group stages or something next season of the Champions League. You know what I mean? Let's see if Arsenal could get their revenge. But yeah, they're looking poised, man. They're looking really good to get that Champions League spot because they have 3 games in hand to Manchester United and they got a point above Man United. I would love for Arsenal and Arteta to get that Champions League spot, man. They've been winning for fun. They've been winning. They've won their last 5 Premier League games in a row, and that's sandwiched in by a draw to Burnley. I'm just going back. They lost to City, but before that, they had a nice run where they beat Norwich, Leeds, West Ham United, Southampton. That goes all the way back to December 6th. So that's a whole lot of wins, man. That's a lot of wins. I think Arsenal are up there with the best team in 2022. Indeed, and they're playing some good football. Ramsdale in goal looks good. Gabriel and Ben White at the back. I could see them, these guys have developed a nice little relationship. You have Cedric, who seemed like a loss, like a discarded player. He stepped in the absence of Tomiyasu. Kieran Tierney is, keeping fit, and he's very good at left back. But the partnership between Xhaka, the mainstay. I know Xhaka is a bad boy, and he gets sent off a lot, and he gets, always gets criticized. Seems always to be the scapegoat. But I just mentioned the man's been there the longest, right? Him and Partey looks good in the midfield. And you have the likes of Odegaard, Saka, Lacazette, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Nicola Pepe. Look, Arsenal, they could only get better. I think the recruitment this summer is going to be very important. And if they are a Champions League team going into the next season, it would make their side even more attractive to go to. So, well played, man. Kudos to Arsenal. They dominated play. Leicester did have their chances. I'm not going to sit it in, but it was only going to be one winner on the day, and that was Arsenal FC. And that's a good morale booster going into the big clash this Wednesday versus Liverpool. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I want to come live tomorrow. I want to talk about that game. I want to give my thoughts on that game. I might actually be an Arsenal fan on Wednesday. Big time. Oh man, definitely, without a doubt. Not maybe. I definitely will be back in Arsenal on Wednesday. I might actually get something close to the Arsenal colors and cheer for Arsenal. I'm gonna pull out my candles, light a couple candles in a dark room and thing, say a couple prayers, you know what I mean? A couple incantations. Oh my God. Listen, I've been watching too much Witcher lately. Guys, smash up the thumbs up button, man. Could we get this stream to 150 thumbs up? I think we can. Big up to Adam the Great, who says, also, the season before, 15-16, Dinamo beat Arsenal 2-0. I'll never forget that day. Dinamo have toppled a lot of teams over the years. So big up to Dinamo Zagreb, strongest team in Croatia. I haven't checked the Croatian league in a while, but yeah. Look, we're going to keep it moving, guys. We got a lot more to talk about, but for Arsenal, their upcoming game is against Liverpool. Then they do play Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, and Brighton. Arsenal are fourth and looking poised to get Champions League football next season. As for Leicester, who are 12th with 33 points, their next game is in the Europa League against Rennes, where they do have a 2-0 lead going into the quarterfinals. So, look, I would love for Leicester to win this competition, but it's going to be very difficult. They do have Brentford coming up in the Premier League, Man United, and Crystal Palace. So, with that being said, big up to everybody. Shout outs to you, and you. Alan Martin, Michael Olopido in the house, Adam. Who else you got? Palomo, 80 Booth. Lacazette has stepped up. Plus, they've got some of the best young players in Europe. Arsenal looking good now. And yeah, no more Aubameyang. I think the divorce between Arsenal and Aubameyang is working out well for each party. So, big up to Michael, not Michael, but Robert Robinson, King Huddle, Online School, Michael Mueller in the house. Liverpool will win on Wednesday. City will go into Liverpool game a point up, and the end will be 2 points down. Ha 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 ha. Good one. Good joke. Good joke, Mr. Mueller. Big up to Paul Nova in the house as well. Do not rule out Spurs for the fourth spot. Nah, Spurs ain't getting fourth. They're not getting fourth. Don't get me started. Do not get me started with them Spurs, okay? Because I predicted a 2-2 draw, and the game was looking like it was going to be a 2-2 draw. But Spurs had to allow Cristiano Ronaldo to score a hat-trick on the day where he became FIFA's all-time leading goal scorer. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn. And big up to Adam the Great. Adam says, imagine if English teams win all European Cups. That's a very good point there, because it could happen, but I don't think it will happen. West Ham are not winning the Europa League, and Leicester in the Conference League, I don't think they're winning that one either. But I think a Premier League team will win the Champions League this season. You got Liverpool, Man United, City, and Chelsea all still in the competition. And I think United are going to actually defeat Atletico Madrid. United will defeat Atletico. So in the quarterfinal, we will actually get an all Premier League quarterfinal. I'm just hoping it's not Manchester City playing another English team in the quarterfinal and maybe it's United versus Liverpool or something. That'll be big for the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Let United play against Liverpool, and City maybe again. I won't mind. I won't mind a test. I won't mind a test against Bayern Munich. I won't. Well, maybe you want to leave that one for later. So just give me one of Ajax or Benfica. Dom, you're funny, Dom. Give me one of Ajax or Benfica. You know what I mean? Just give me one of those teams. Or give me Juventus or Villarreal. One of them. Stay away from Bayern Munich right now. Listen, I won't mind Real Madrid again, to be honest. Real Madrid, we smashed them last season, right? So, yeah. I'm going to keep it moving. Was it last season or the season before? Whenever it was, we knock them out. So, I'm not sleeping on Ajax. Give me Ajax and we carve Ajax apart. Believe me. So, look, let's talk about these bums. Two bum teams, United and Tottenham Hotspur. I actually thought that this game was going to end in a draw. My prediction looked really good up until the 81st minute before United scored their third to Cristiano Ronaldo. 3 quality goals, 12, 38, and 81st minute set up by Fred, Jadon Sancho, and Alex Telles. Harry Kane with a penalty in the 35th minute. Harry Maguire own goal where Romero actually celebrated in his face. I thought they had it. You see what I'm saying? But Tottenham, man, I think in this game, they weren't pragmatic enough. I think when they got that goal, right, the own goal, to make it 2-2, they should have actually shut up shop and take the point away to United, right? But they just was too ambitious. They were going for the win. They were going for the kill. And they left themselves way too open. And they got punished by Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo put on a show there for Manchester United and their fans. The 70,000 fans at, the stadium of the Nightmares. Oh, man. Yeah. He put on a show for them, man. He put on a show indeed. Old Trafford. When I think Old Trafford, I think cricket. I watch a lot of cricket in the past, and they play a lot of games at the Old Trafford cricket ground. So sometimes I'm like, wait, is it called Old Trafford? Yeah, it is Old Trafford. So, yeah, man, 73,000 in attendance, and they were all treated to that Cristiano Ronaldo hat-trick. He's the man for the occasion, and I think he's going to put out a show again when they do face Atletico Madrid come this when is it? When is that game? Is that game tomorrow or Wednesday? I'm not even sure. That game is actually tomorrow, 4 p.m. So I'll definitely be watching that game and not cheering for United, but I think they'll win that game though. I think they'll win the game. Champions League action coming up tomorrow is Ajax, Benfica, and United, Atletico Madrid, and on Wednesday we got Juventus, Villarreal, Lille, Chelsea. So, I'm not saying Chelsea's a little club, by the way, guys. I just mean Lille, the club from France, versus Chelsea, all right? Just make that clear. So, look, United, this was a big performance. They needed a big performance. They have not played badly under Ralph Rangnick, but they have not, I don't think they actually set the world ablaze as well. You see what I mean? They've been very inconsistent. They haven't lost a lot of games under Rangnick, but it's these draws. You see what I'm saying? It's those draws in between there. The loss to City, the draw against Watford, the draw to Atleti. They did beat Leeds. They beat Brighton. They drew to Southampton, Burnley. You know what I mean? Middlesbrough got knocked out. You see, so these results, they got to get weeded out of their game. They got to weed these results out. The draw to Aston Villa, you know what I'm saying? They got to weed these results out of their game if they are to compete for any type of title or any type of silverware in the future. They're still in the Champions League with Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, and these bigger players in the team. They'll think they could actually go deep in the competition. They'll have hope. You see what I'm saying? But that's the only competition that they're fighting for. The Premier League is gone, right? They're not in the FA Cup anymore. And they're fighting for top 4 right now, where right now they're not going. United are not going to get top 4 the way they're playing. But this win against Tottenham is definitely a step in the right direction. And Tottenham coming into the game off of a big win, you expected them to maybe get something from the game, and they didn't. You see? And this is what I don't understand. You have United to beat. You have them to at least get a point from them, but nah, you only have strength for Manchester City. Yeah, man, you only got strength for City. You got strength for City. I know you beat United 6-1 last season, but you only got strength for Man City. Because the performance you put out against City, it was nothing like the performance you put out against United. And that's the Premier League for you, man. That is the Premier League. It's a jackpot, man. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up, man. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get. This could have easily been a Tottenham win on the day, but we got to win for United. 3 points. I think they were brave, they were ambitious, and they wanted it more. They really wanted it more than Spurs. If we take a look at the stats here, you could see United 10 shots at goal, 6 on target. Tottenham 10 shots at goal, 3 on target. They had more touches of the ball, more possession and everything. But it's just that United had the moments of quality and they finished better in the game. So, congratulations to my enemies, Manchester United. Tottenham, the inconsistency continues. They are too inconsistent MFs. Really inconsistent, these two teams this season. Because if we take a look at Tottenham, right? Take a look at Tottenham. They came into the game off of a 5-0 win against Everton. They did lose to Middlesbrough. Beat Leeds 4-0, but lost to Burnley. Beat City. You see the epitome of inconsistency. Lost to Wolves, Southampton, beat Brighton, lost to Chelsea, beat Leicester. You see what I'm saying? Lost to Chelsea. So it's like they've been very inconsistent. And, you know, Antonio Conte, this is probably his most difficult job ever. You know, maybe apart from that second season with Chelsea where they placed like, what, 9th or something? Did Chelsea place 9th that season after they won the league? That was 17th, 18th. They placed 5th. They ended up coming in 5th. But the 16-17 season, Conte won the league and followed up with a 5th place finish where he got sacked, you know, and Maurizio Sarri was, my laptop just restarted on its own, like for no reason, right? I don't know why it did that, but it's an old laptop. It's about 8 years old. So, you know, you could expect things like that, but it just shut down. It didn't really restart. It just shut down and mess up the music in the background there. But look, not to get distracted at all, but Tottenham, very inconsistent. And Antonio Conte got a big job on his hands. Let's see if he stays on. And let's see what kind of summer transfer window they do have. So, look, we're not going to talk about this one any longer. But in terms of the upcoming fixtures for both teams, let's actually touch on that. United are 5th with 50 points. You know, congrats to them on getting to 50 points. They did have a game against Liverpool, but that one is postponed. But they do have Atletico Madrid tomorrow in the Champions League. Then they do have Leicester, Everton, Norwich, and Arsenal on the horizon. And they're games that they could all win, but it's games where they could lose 3 of those games as well. So that's what you're going to get from United. Inconsistency. So for Tottenham, they're inconsistent cousins. They are 8th. Right now, and Tottenham do have 45 points, so they're still in the hunt for the top 4 because with 2 games in hand to United, if they win those 2 games, that's 51 points. That would put them into 5th place. Arsenal do have a better goal difference, and Arsenal do have 3 games 1 game in hand to Tottenham, And it could come down to the Arsenal Tottenham game in that North London derby. I think we got one North London derby left this season, right? And they played already. Yeah, I think they're done. I think no, they're done. There are no more North London derbies this season. Yeah, they all done. I think I don't know. Yeah, I think they're both done. No, they have one. One of them was postponed. So they do have the North London derby hosted by Tottenham left this season. So that'll be the deciding that could be the deciding game. But for Tottenham, they got Brighton, West Ham, Newcastle, and Aston Villa in their upcoming fixtures there as well. So we are gonna keep it moving. Shout outs to everybody in the stream right about now, man. Dom, who's the biggest bottler? United or Spurs? Gotta be Spurs, man. Gotta be Spurs. Champions League semi-final against Ajax. Won it and then got into the final, and it probably the worst finalist ever in the Champions League. You know what I'm saying? So Soma Saab is saying the music on the background for what? It's just a bunch of noise. Come on, man, kill that music and we talk football. You got good presenter's voice. Anyway, no need of music. Yeah, the music is, it's a little, sometimes you need it, man, to just keep things going. It's low. It's low, nothing loud. It's not like, overshadowing my voice or anything. But when you have little noises in the house, you got a 3-year-old son running around upstairs, sometimes the music helps to drown out, the quietness. All right? So hope you do understand, bro. So, yeah, we're definitely going to keep it moving, guys. We're doing well, and we're doing very well. We have done very well. Let's talk about the game between... We got 3 more games to touch on. Let's talk Chelsea versus Newcastle United. Look, I wanted Chelsea to draw this game badly. I predicted a draw. I think Newcastle played very well, and Chelsea just seemed like a team going through the motion in this game, I have to say. See, Trevor Chalobah given man of the match there. And it should have been Kai Havertz, because that was a brilliant first touch from that Jorginho ball over the top, and a great finish. He had an opportunity earlier that he put right into Dubravka's arms, but I think this game should have been a draw. This had 0-0 written all over it. This had a 1-1 written all over it, in my opinion, but it looked like it was going to be a 0-0 draw. Kudos to Newcastle for actually getting all the way to the 89th minute without conceding a goal. But if there were anybody going to score on the day, it would have been Chelsea, because they were indeed threatening on a few occasions. But I just think that they were going through the motion because, the off-the-field issues with Roman Abramovich, having to sell the club, a whole lot of, distractions for the players on the field, and they can't win the title anymore. You see what I'm saying? They're probably focusing on the Champions League, so it's just a tricky period for Chelsea right now, and you got to give them credit for actually staying in the match, fighting, even though they weren't, going through the gears, they still ended up winning the game. And credit to them. It would have been a hard loss to take for Newcastle, who played so well throughout the game and just undone by that brilliant moment by Kai Havertz. You got to give it to Kai Havertz, man, because, look, if you take a look at the Timo Werner and Kai Havertz signing, and you look at what Havertz has done, and you look at what Timo Werner has done, Timo Werner, I think, got 3 goals in his last 40 Premier League matches. And I've been telling people that Timo Werner is a big flop. And some people on Twitter getting into big arguments with me and all of that over Timo Werner. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Timo Werner is a flop. He needs to just leave. Chelsea needs to sell Timo Werner. You know what I mean? He'll probably be back in the Bundesliga before you know it. He'll be back in the Bundesliga before you know it. But you see this guy, Kai Havertz, man? He's something special, man. He's tall, he's fast, he's skillful, he got an eye for goal. and he is a special talent. Special talent. And look, I know, believe me, I know first hand, Champions League final, the winning goal. Okay, I know firsthand. Mason Mount he has like fallen off a bit in my opinion. He does have a moment or two, you know what I mean, where he does score, assist, but he hasn't really cast his spell on Chelsea games lately. Timo Werner, not even Timo Werner. It's Kai Havertz. I almost said Timo Werner, but I wanted to say Kai Havertz. I tried to play it off. I tried to play it off there. I didn't play it off that well. But Kai Havertz is the man. Kai Havertz and the defenders in guys like Rudiger and Thiago Silva and Edward Mendy are the men that's really making things tick for Chelsea, in my opinion. Not Lukaku. And that's another situation, the Lukaku situation. Sad. It's a sad situation. Very, very sad situation with what's going on with Romelu Lukaku, man. And at Chelsea, it's like paid so much money and it's not working out. It ain't working out. He ain't scoring no goals. He's not starting games. And it's just weird, man. You know what I mean? But let's see. Maybe it's just a tough first season. I don't think they're gonna. I don't know if Inter would be able to afford him again. I don't think he's leaving next summer. I think he'll stay again. But good win for Chelsea, I guess. Not the best performance, but good win. Good win. They did rotate the team with the Champions League game in mind. I think they'll be fine when it comes to that. Malang Sarr started, Chalobah, Rudiger Christensen with Thiago Silva resting, Alonso resting. You have the likes of Kovacic, Pulisic, and Lukaku coming off the bench. So Tuchel's still pretty much rotating his team. Ziyech came back after being on the bench for a couple of games, and he had that whole thing with him and Morocco. I think he actually retired from international football the last time I checked. And then I read that he was called up, him along with Mazrui was called up, but they didn't know. The communication between the Morocco FA and these players have been poor. But good win for Chelsea. And for Newcastle, this is just a setback in their quest to survive under new ownership. So they have been doing well. And it would have been a great achievement if they had got something from this Chelsea game to continue their unbeaten streak. But this would just be a setback. And they've been playing well. But when you really look at their team, this was not the strongest team that Eddie Howe put out. Because you had Sean Longstaff starting, Manquillo back in the team, Miguel Almiron started the match as well. And he actually chose to play Jamal Lascelles. And if you really go back and you watch that goal, I think Dan Burn had a rough game. He had a really rough game. And he was actually, you got to actually blame him. Because he's tall as a pole. And that ball by Jorginho, not even Dan Burn could stop that ball. So it was poor defending there by Dan Burn. Lascelles, I don't think he had a good game. I think Eddie Howe should have actually stuck with his strongest possible 11 with Ryan Fraser starting, Emil Kraft starting as well. And even though Alain Saint-Maximin not fully fit, play him. You see what I'm saying? The rotation, it ain't working. It ain't working. You cannot rotate with these little bits and pieces players that were struggling with Steve Bruce. And that's just my thoughts on that. So Eddie Howe got to be careful. He got to be very, very careful with the tinkering and rotating of his team going forward. Because, look, even though Newcastle have picked up a lot of points and they're now 14th with 31 points, they could go through it only take one loss to start losing 2 and 3 and 4 on the bounce. Ask Brighton, ask Leeds, ask Everton, ask Burnley, Norwich, Brentford, Watford, all these teams who have gone through poor periods. Look at Southampton. Wolves lost 3 on the bounce recently. So they got to be very, very careful, in my opinion, and finish off the season strongly where they do have 10 games to go. So for Newcastle United, a hard loss for them, but they shouldn't really take it on too much. They have a big game against Everton in their next match. That's coming up this Thursday. Then they do have Tottenham, Wolves, Leicester, Norwich in their next 5 matches, right? The last 4 games are going to be difficult. So if they are to survive, they have to do it in the next, let's say, 6 games. They do have Palace to play, but we know how difficult Palace could be. You got Liverpool, City, and Arsenal before you play Burnley on the last match day. So that's what's going on for Newcastle United. I think they will survive. They've done enough, and they'll be in the Premier League next season. As for Chelsea FC, Lille next in the Champions League with a 2-0 advantage going into the second leg. And then Middlesbrough in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. So they're still fighting on those fronts, those cup competitions. So let's see if Chelsea will win any more silverware this season. It hurts my heart to see Chelsea run around in that freaking shirt with the club champions crest on the front. That should have been City's. I'm a bit mad about that. I got to put it out there. I'm keeping it real. I should have had one of those jerseys on my wall back there. You know what I mean? But congratulations to Chelsea on being Club World Cup champions, man. Whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever, man. That should have been City. Anyways. I'm just thinking out loud, man. Next Premier League game will be against Brentford in that London derby, Southampton, Leeds, and West Ham. So good games for Chelsea. They have a nice little rest of fixtures for the season. Everton, Wolves, Watford, and United. So good games to come for Chelsea, where they navigate that tricky period with their off the field distractions. So look, they're fourth right now, and in terms of Newcastle, Chelsea are third, with 59 points. 28 games played. Arsenal are closing in. Just want to put that out there. And Newcastle are 14. So that's my thoughts on that game. We got 2 more to go, guys. Let me just make sure. Liverpool, Brighton, we got to talk about that. We spoke about Burnley, Brentford. We talked United, Tottenham. We talked Chelsea, Newcastle, Everton, Wolves, Leeds, Norwich, Southampton, Watford. We touched on West Ham, Aston Villa, Arsenal, Leicester. And let us talk about this game. No goals to talk about, but Crystal Palace 0, Manchester City 0. We look at the lineups. Before we even look at the lineups, just look at this picture. This is the picture of how every Manchester City fan feels after this game. This is how we feel after this game. I was actually in the back of my house fixing my working on my stereo system in my Honda, right? I had this nasty whining engine noise where I did the system 10 years ago. Didn't do it properly. And my problem was a grounding problem. I didn't ground out the systems properly. I have 2 amps and a capacitor, and I grounded them out on the same ground, and it was loose, and that's what was causing the whining noise. Incomplete circuit. Lot of what you call it there? Resistance in the ground end of the circuit. But I fixed it. I give each component a separate ground, and I fixed it. I was watching the game while doing that, and I thought it was going to be a walk at Selhurst Park, but it wasn't. Crystal Palace had a plan to be compact and to catch us on the break, like every team that has picked up good results against us. And they almost got a win. Crystal Palace had no intention of picking up 1 point in this game. Crystal Palace wanted all 3 points to get the league double over City. They were not interested in 1 point. You think Crystal Palace were interested in a point? You're wrong. If you look at the way they played at the end of the game, they were never interested in a point. They wanted all 3 And I love the ambition of this team under Patrick Vieira. Big up to Patrick Vieira, man. You got to give Vieira some credit. The only black manager in the league. I'm going to shout him out. Only black manager in the league. Big up to Patrick Vieira. That's a great feat. 2 games played against Manchester City as a manager. No losses. And he actually finished his Premier League career as a Manchester City player as well. And as an Arsenal player, he never lost to Manchester City. So, look, next season, I got to deal with you, Patrick Vieira. But, look, you got to give it to Crystal Palace. You got to give it to them. Look, I like the 11 that Pep put out. I don't mind Grealish. I don't mind him starting. But Grealish, Foden, Mahrez, Bernardo. I think Bernardo had a poor game, man. He had a great opportunity that he should have scored. Kevin De Bruyne had a couple great chances, hit the woodwork, had a good save. You had Rodri, had a solid match, I think, controlling the midfield there. Cancelo, what a shot. Oh, man. I think Cancelo hit the post, right? Listen. Brilliant game by Cancelo. Laporte unable to put in the rebound. Stones on Laporte. Stones with a shot that went wide. Kyle Walker. I think the players had a brilliant games. All the players involved had good games. Maybe with the exception of Bernardo, who struggled a bit, in my opinion. Foden, chances were there. We didn't take the chances. If we take a look at the stats, guys. 18 shots at goal, 4 on target, 7 shots, 1 on target for Crystal Palace. But whenever they did go forward, they looked dangerous. 26% of the ball, man. Look at the touches here for City. 925 touches. Like, come on, man. How do you lose a game with this? Draw a game, I mean, with this type of stats? How does it happen? Please explain to me, how does this happen? Crystal Palace completed 32 clearances. 32 clearances. 32. This is unbelievable. 32 clearances, like, get the hell out of here. Where you going? And you got to commend them for that. You definitely got to commend them for being defensively sound and being able to break on the counter as well. Checo Kouyaté was a key player. Jeffrey Schlupp, Conor Gallagher, god damn how good he's been this season. Olise. Zaha not much involved in the game. I think if Zaha was involved enough, going a little bit more going forward, we would have lost this game. We would have indeed lost the game. Mateta was bright, had a moment where he put out about 15 stepovers in one play. Anderson and Guehi at the back was solid. You had former Liverpool man Nathaniel Klein had a good victory against Grealish on the day. And I think Tyreek Mitchell handled Mahrez very well. So, and Guaita in goal. Guaita. These saves that Guaita pulled out, brilliant. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. That, I could remember there was a rebound. Was that Rodri with the, I can't remember, but he pulled off some big saves, man. I was like, God, that was Mahrez. Mahrez with that right-footed shot. That was after the save. That, oh man, we should have won the game. But it's just one of those games where you're just frustrated every single minute. Even with the dominance, you just continue to get frustrated by these teams who just set up very defensively and look to break. It's the blueprint to get points from Manchester City. So the recent draw to Southampton, the loss to Tottenham, and now the draw against Crystal Palace have basically given Liverpool a big advantage in the title race, where it's all up to Liverpool now if you really think about it, because if they continue winning all their games and they beat City, that's it. You see what I'm saying? City cannot afford to drop any more points. Liverpool cannot afford to drop any more points. But sometimes it baffles me to why Pep Guardiola does not use any substitutions in games. If you look at the lineups, right, Man City use no substitutions, none whatsoever. Crystal Palace did use 2, but when you have Gundogan, Sterling, and Gabriel Jesus on the field, and when you have Grealish and Bernardo struggling, you got to do something different. You see what I mean? You're in a situation where you need goals. The changes that were supposed to be made, in my opinion, you take off Grealish, you take off Bernardo, and you take off Rodri. Gundogan would play the holding and make a couple runs going forward. Jesus and Sterling would be, either through the center or on the wings, giving you that freshness, something different. And it could have been what we needed in this game. But I think Pep missed the trick. He missed the trick there. But it's all good, man. It is all good because you know what? It is setting up a title race that we do deserve this season. Because I was actually thinking that it was going to be a one-sided season, like City going to run away with the league, easy peasy lemon squeezy, 16 points in front, leading at Christmas. This is easy. Nah, it ain't. It ain't, man. It ain't. And I'm kind of happy that we have something to talk about because that's why we have 100, almost 200 people in the stream right now, because if City were 16 points ahead right now, we'll have at least 40 people in here. The most 40 people in the stream. 40. If City were running away with the league right now. But the fact that we got a title race, we got a relegation scrap, we got a scrap for the top 4 spots as well. There's interest, and I like that. I like that. Congratulations to Crystal Palace for going unbeaten against City this season, winning at the Etihad and picking up a 0-0 draw at Selhurst Park. They have done well this season under Patrick Vieira. They are currently 11th with 34 points. They have 1 loss in their last 4 matches. They have actually done well in their last maybe 10 games or so, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but Crystal Palace have done a stellar job this season under Vieira, and I'm happy for Vieira. Really, really happy. Really happy. I'm not going to talk too much more about them, but credit to them. Credit to them. They have some talented players in the team. They made some good signings in Olise. Remember, there's Eberechi Eze to come back to full fitness eventually. There's Hudson Edward. There's Mateta. There's Gallagher on loan. They could look to sign him on a permanent basis if, the Chelsea situation, they got to monitor that situation there. And the defense of Guehi and Anderson. The team has been improved, revamped. The age brought down, to a better age as well, a better average age. And they're playing attractive football. All right, so, yeah. Congrats. Their next game is against Everton in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. All the best to them. Then they do have a London derby against Arsenal. Then they do have Leicester City to play. So that's what's up for Crystal Palace. As for Manchester City, my team, guys, my team. I want to win the title. It would be a very, very heart-wrenching situation if we don't. I'll be heartbroken if we don't win the title from the position that we were in and Liverpool go on to win it. I won't hear the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I would not hear the end of it. But remember, guys, a few seasons ago, we won the league by 1 point. And who came second? Liverpool. If we manage to do it again, I won't mind. 1 point, 10 points, you win the league, same damn thing. You know what I mean? So it's on. It's really, really on. Both teams are playing some quality football this season. In all together, maybe not City in the last game, but all together, City have been quality. Liverpool have been quality. and they're the two best teams in the league right now. The two best teams, the squads are looking good. I know at the beginning of the season we were drooling over the Chelsea squad, but yeah, we know what's going on with them right now. But City, man, Mahrez doing a great job this season, scoring the most goals for the club this season. Foden has definitely matured big time. Grealish, I think Pep is just playing him until he gets good. Bernardo is having a good season, but he was so in the match. Kevin De Bruyne, come on. He is arguably, if not the best, one of the best players in the Premier League. Rodri, very underrated, but plays that important holding role. Cancelo is the best fullback in the league by far, in my opinion. Maybe not by the goals and the assists, but by the work he does in terms of the skillfulness. I know some may argue it's Robertson and Trent, but Cancelo, indeed, hands down, left back, right back, anywhere you need him. Laporte and Stones, solid in the back. Walker, we know how reliable he is. And Ederson in goal, one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Yet another clean sheet for Ederson. Let's not forget that. That's a positive we got to take from the game. That's a clean sheet. But I think Pep Guardiola should have played Sterling, should have brought on Jesus, should have brought on Gundogan, and give Crystal Palace something a bit different. But we got to settle for a point. City are 70 points on top of the league, and they do have a 4-point gap over themselves and Liverpool. Manchester City's next game is against Southampton in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. Then we do play Burnley before the big game on April 10th against Liverpool. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it to hell on. Okay? Bring it on, man. Bring it on. Bring it on. Big up to Angel Abel in the house. Yeah, I know. We get into the moment and we talk what's in the moment. We definitely talk what's in the moment. Trent is much better, bro. You don't even know what you're talking about. Let me just put it out there. You don't know what you're talking about. João Cancelo, you don't watch enough of Cancelo. You don't watch the tricks and the flicks and the shots that he get off, the crosses into the box. You know what I mean? Trent is nowhere near João Cancelo, in my opinion. I know he gets a lot of assists and he good in a dead ball situation, but in other departments, Cancelo is better, man. Cancelo is better. Why can't you guys just admit that? Trent is very, very poor in terms of his defensive work. Very poor. Very, very poor. So, anyways, we're not going to get into that argument right now. We're not. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. I'm big up to the boy Michael Talks Football for dropping the $2 euro. 20 incoming. Big up Dom. City should have won. Indeed, man. We should have won the game, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, Michael, are you talking about 20? What, 20th title for Liverpool or something like that? Is that what you mean? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? That's an outdated view of Trent. You may not. It seems like you're not watching the Liverpool games, maybe. You see what I'm saying? And maybe you're not watching the Liverpool games. Maybe you're not watching where Inter Milan won the game last week. It's down the left-hand side. Who's the defender over there? Trent. You guys are not paying attention. You're not paying attention to where Liverpool's weak point is. You're not. You're not. You guys are not. Even Reece James is better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know what I'm saying? He can't defend. He does have his moments in the games where he does well defensively, but overall, he does not defend well. Okay? Why don't he start for England then? If he's that good, why don't he start for England? That's all I'm saying. Why is he behind the likes of Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker for England? Please answer that question. Answer that question, and yeah, maybe I'll give it to you. Just answer that question. But big up to each and everybody in the house right about now for coming through. Guys, we need 46 more likes to get to 200. Smash up the thumbs up button and let's land the plane. We're going to do about 2 hours today. I got to go up and hang out with my wife, man. You know what I mean? And I got work in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Wife is life, guys. Okay? Wife is life. Anyways, look. Let's talk Brighton 0, Liverpool 2. That was my exact prediction. That was my exact prediction. I got that one right. If I didn't get the Man City prediction right against Palace, where I did predict City to beat Palace 3-1, I predicted Liverpool to beat Brighton 2-0, and I got it right. Brighton have now lost 4 Premier League matches in a row, which is very uncharacteristic of the team from the South Coast. Actually, they have now lost 5 on the bounce. 5 on the bounce, right? And it's probably more than that. It's probably, yeah, it's 5. It is 5. They lost the last one against Watford before they lost to United, Burnley, Aston Villa, Newcastle, and Liverpool. And during that run, they have only scored 1 goal, and that came against Newcastle. So we know the problem here for Brighton is scoring goals, and they didn't really threaten too much against Liverpool. I could remember Neil Maupay getting a shot off, and anything else after that, it was very poor. It was very, very poor, and sad to see Lallana come off the bench and only lasted about 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Just want to mention that one before I forget. Liverpool did not play well either. I'm not going to say Liverpool played well and they blew Brighton out of the park. They didn't play at their best. They maybe played in third gear the most, but they didn't go into fourth and fifth in this game. They really didn't. And we usually see Liverpool, running and destroying teams, but you got to give Liverpool the credit as well for creating the chances and for taking the chances. Luis Diaz, 19th minute. What a ball by Joel Matip. And I like this goal because it just shows when you can't break down a team on the ground and pass the ball around, you put it over, you're running behind, and Diaz with the bravery and everything to get on the end of that ball to put it past the on-rushing Robert Sanchez, who was poor in that instance and could have gotten a red card. Very unlucky to get away. And Luis Diaz, I think that's his 2nd goal for Liverpool in the Premier League. The man has hit the ground running. He has hit the ground running. Look, when the term hit the ground running means, right, if you're moving, for those of you guys who are from a third world country and you jump on the back of a pickup or of a truck, you catch a ride, you steal a ride, when you come off, the driver is not going to stop for you. You got to hit the ground running. So when you jump off, you got to actually run or you're going to fall flat on your ass or flat on your face. Luis Diaz definitely hop on the Liverpool bus there and, hop off the Porto bus, I should say, and he's hit the ground running in the Premier League. And I've always liked this player when he was at Porto, so that's a very, very good purchase there by Liverpool. And I've always said that if you're going to compete with City, you got to spend money. And it's looking like money well spent already because he's coming to the damn team and he's looking good. I know Jota is still around, but, you kind of probably wanting to see Luis Diaz in the team ahead of Jota. You see what I'm saying? The Salamane, Jota, Luis Diaz, You add another player in the midfield. Maybe get rid of a bit part player. And Liverpool would probably be unmatched. in the upcoming seasons if they spend the money. It's about spending, man. It's about actually investing. It's about investing in the team. It's not just spending to just spend, but being wise and investing smartly. And I think Luis Diaz is a great investment. Salah, penalty in the 61st minute there. And he dispatched. It was always going to put it away. 9 out of 10 times. And Liverpool held on for the 2-0 lead. Look, 2-0 win. Brighton didn't really threaten. It was a game where I thought they could have gotten something from the match. Look, they had a lot of the ball. 8 shots at goal, 3 on target. Liverpool 18 shots, 9 on target. But they didn't threaten too much, man. But they're a team, and I think the reason why Liverpool, even though they weren't at full pelt, they could beat a team like Brighton, is because Brighton are not a Crystal Palace. They're not a Crystal Palace. They don't set up in no low block and defend, and Brighton actually take the game to you. Brighton say, hey, we're going to play at early stages in the game, maybe for like the first 15 minutes. Brighton were the team on. Brighton looked good. I actually have notes from this game. This is actually the only game that I actually wrote down notes for. And for the rest games, I was either too busy or too caught up to either write down the notes. But I have notes for this one. And look, just to touch on some notes really quick. Brighton persisting with their Ukrainian kit, the yellow and blue kit, and they just keep playing with it. And that's their way of showing solidarity to Ukraine. In terms of the lineups, strong lineup from Graham Potter and Trossard and Mupé up top. Bissouma in the midfield, Lamptey, Cucurella on the wing. So they put out a strong enough 11. For Liverpool, Mane, Diaz, Salah up top, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Matip, Robertson, Fabinho, Keita, Henderson, Alisson in this starting 11. Neil Mupé with a chance early on, went wide. I think Brighton started well on top for the first 6 minutes. Mane had a chance in the 8th minute that was put wide for a corner. Goalless after 18 minutes. Brighton looked the better team. I have it written down here. Brighton looked the better team. But Liverpool went from not looking so good to just the flick of a switch. Bam! Joel Matip over the top. Luis Diaz in the back of the net celebrating. And I'm like, okay, that was definitely against the run of play. Definitely against the run of play, though. So, look, Matip being the player of the month for February is continuing his good work with that assist. And Liverpool, I think, were very patient in the game. And, you know, a lot of times patience do pay off. So, look, from my notes, 35th minute of the game. Liverpool still not playing at full pelt, but in the lead and handling Brighton very, very well. Salah had a chance in the 43rd minute on the break, and it was saved at the near post by Robert Sanchez. And Klopp was actually yelling to him to pass the ball, but, you know, Salah was asking, who am I going to pass the ball to? So I think Klopp just wanted to get that insurance goal for Liverpool to, you know, see out the match and just get that, you know, 3 points in and put more pressure on Manchester City. They eventually did, but, you know, Klopp just wanted Liverpool to take their opportunities. Lallana came on and he went off as soon as he came on. Brighton did have a chance where Leandro Trossard put the ball over, and there was a potential handball in the build-up by Mopé, so that may have been chalked off if it went in. Brighton was still in the game up until that time, the 47th minute. Lallana went off. He was replaced by Pascal Gross. Chance for Salah, who hit the crossbar in the 57th minute. And that was some good individual work by Salah as well. And then he had a chance on the break that was put wide. And the cutback for Diaz was actually, you know, the cutback by Luis Diaz was put wide by Salah. And then the penalty came when a Naby Keita shot was handballed by, was hands by Yves Bissouma, who was having a good game for the most part. But, stretched out his arm there, and Salah stepped up and scored his 20th Premier League goal this season. So you got to give it to Mo Salah, man, who has hit 20 goals, I think, for the last couple seasons. I can't remember exactly how many seasons, but he's hit 20 goals, man. I could remember, big up to Have Hope Hutt, man, who said after Salah scored 30-something goals his first season at Liverpool that he'll actually flop the next season, and Salah proved him wrong, and he's been scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring in the Premier League ever since, where he's already hit 100 Premier League goals since he joined Liverpool, which is absolutely amazing when you think about it. So give it up to Mo Salah, and he was actually pulled off with a little bit of injury in the 65th minute, and Thiago and Jota came on for Salah and Naby Keita. So, look, Brighton made subs as well, with Welbeck coming on for Bissouma. And the rest of the game just, went on. It wasn't much excitement for the remainder of the game. I basically went through the motions watching the rest of the game, because maybe it's because I'm a City fan and I'm like, to hell with Liverpool winning this game so easily. You know what I'm saying? So, good 3 points, big 3 points to keep the pressure on Manchester City, where the gap potentially has now been closed to 1 point. If Liverpool win that game, that midweek fixture against Arsenal, it's 1 point behind City, where the big game that's coming up on April 10th, potentially April 10th, it could be the 9th as well, that game could be the decider this season, or it may not be the decider if the teams go and drop points in other matches. But the title race is between Manchester City and Liverpool as of now. I don't think any other team would jump into the title race right now. It's too far gone for maybe Chelsea and Arsenal, United, Tottenham. So it's Liverpool City. Congrats to the Reds. And, I like that we have a title race. People may say, oh, Dom, I think you're worried, Dom. I think, of course, I would love to win the league, but for the sake of being a fan and, coming on here to talk to you guys, I want some type of competition, man. I don't want to always... It becomes boring after a while. The last thing I want to be is boring. You see what I'm saying? Seriously, I don't want to have to come here every week to talk about City just running away with the league and annoy people. You see what I mean? Let's have some type of rivalry towards the end of the season where any team could win it, City or Liverpool. I would want to win it, but it could also be me getting silver. You see what I'm saying? And I'll have to accept it, because it will be no one else's fault but Pep Guardiola and his boys. And if Liverpool ought to go on to win it, they would truly deserve it after the run that they've been on, dealing with Salah Mane going to the AFCON, the injuries and all of that stuff they had to deal with this season. So two great teams, and they're fighting for the English Premier League this season. Man City defending champions, of course. City still in the Champions League. Liverpool Carabao Cup champions, still in the FA Cup, still in the Champions League, where they're looking to win an unprecedented quadruple, this season as well. So it's a lot to play for. It's a lot of excitement. I actually scrolled through my YouTube homepage today, and I'm seeing all the Liverpool channels I'm subscribed to celebrating the draw against Crystal Palace. Like, I find it rather pathetic. You know what I'm saying? I find it rather pathetic, man. You ain't got nothing else to do? See what I'm saying? You could have taken the Monday off and chill with your families, and you're taking time out of your day to celebrate a draw. Come on, man. Come on. You could have waited until you did your Liverpool video to talk about the draw. Anytime you do that, always backfires. Just want to put it out there. Pathetic. But big up to everybody, man. Big up to everybody who came to the live stream tonight. Good turnout. We got 169 likes. We got over 200 people in here today. Guys, I'm looking to go live tomorrow, maybe for like an hour. I'm going to put together something, a little package, where we're going to talk the 2 Champions League fixtures, the ones that's going to come up on Wednesday, and we're going to talk the Premier League matches that's going to be played this week. So let me just actually pull up the matches that's coming up this week for us that we're going to discuss. Okay, so let me just give you that right there and right there. So the games that I want to discuss tomorrow, we want to talk Brighton, Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, and we're going to talk Newcastle, Everton. These games are big in terms of the relegation battle and the title race. So 3 matches, the Champions League. So it should only take about an hour, you know what I mean? Just to start to be consistent again. I need to start being consistent again, guys. You know what I mean? In March, right now, 14 days, I've only done live streams. No clips. My laptop was giving me some problems, but I got it working again. I got the laptop working again, you know what I mean? So look for the clips and things like that coming out soon. I don't think I'll do any clips tonight. I'm going to just go to sleep, man. But my laptop screen is gone. So I usually would have taken my laptop to work and clip out things and, you know, have the content come in. But I've taken the back seat lately. I'm just chilling, man. I'm just chilling. Like you celebrated our draw with Chelsea. Where did I celebrate it? Where did I celebrate the draw? Where did I talk about the draw? I usually talk about every Liverpool match on the channel. All. Even if when I make a separate video, which I haven't been doing lately because of time. You guys realize I usually make videos in my car. I haven't done that in a long time. I've been busy. Since January, I haven't done a video in my car. I haven't done a video outside since January. I got into an accident with my truck and I've been fixing my car. So I've been working on 2 vehicles for the entire February in the cold, spending a lot of money on parts and things like that. And now everything is good. So I'll be back with the content. All right. So don't come telling me no lies on me about celebrating this and that. And I'm not. I talk about Liverpool versus Chelsea. That's the difference with my channel. Some people have designated Liverpool channels and they have taken the time out to talk about City, Crystal Palace, 0-0 draw. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm going to leave it right there, though. Look, usually I would have taken, seeing that I have time today, but I got to go to work in the morning, but I have a little time. Usually I would have looked at the other leagues in Europe and things like that, but maybe we'll do that tomorrow, though. 2 hours, 7 minutes, I think it's a nice little sweet spot there, and we're going to leave it right there, and I'm going to go and hang out for the rest of the night. I got work in the morning. I think I got a 12-hour day at work tomorrow, so I might do some overtime, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I've been busy, man. I've been busy, but I just came to talk to you guys about these Premier League games, and I'm going to do it every week. We're going to talk Liverpool. We're going to talk City. We're going to talk United, Tottenham, Arsenal, Everton, Norwich, Leeds. You know what I'm saying? Aston Villa, West Ham. We're going to talk about these teams. We're going to talk Champions League. It's going to be a busy last 2 weeks of the month. Just want to put it out there. World Cup qualifiers coming up, so look for the content heavy. It's going to come. I'm going to make up for the lack of content at the beginning of the season. FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League, Channel is still very much alive, guys. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm going to retire after the 2026 World Cup, I think, though. Maybe I'll call it quits on YouTube after. Maybe I'll do 2027 and do 10 years and call it a day. I think that's what I'm looking at in terms of my retirement. Yeah. Sometimes I don't actually want to do YouTube. I want to actually not talk about games sometimes. Just keeping it real. It could be a little hard. It could be a little hard at times. especially when you have a lot going on in life. Just want to put it out there. I'm not getting younger. I'm 35 years old, so it's getting harder and harder and harder as time goes on. Just want to keep it real with y'all. So, look, guys, thank you very much for coming through again. Like the video if you haven't yet liked it. We got 173 likes. So, let's get it close to 200. We will hit it. Thanks very much for watching the replay if you're watching the replay. And from your boy, Dom, I'll see you soon. Peace out. Rich Squad. Peace. Yeah, Abel. I'm being real, man. I'm going to keep it real. Man. It ain't easy out here, but, you know, I'm going to keep pushing it. I'll talk to you guys soon, all right? Much love. Respect.